Hi ladies, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to share with you 3 mindfulness techniques which are going to help you get back into control with food. So I'm really passionate about mindfulness. It's actually really a lot about what I coach with my clients, because I really feel like when you become more mindful around food and when you become more in tune with your body, you're going to find it so much easier to get back to your natural weight and also stay there. So it's really useful for helping women really connect with their bodies and create that sustainable lifestyle. Okay, so the first thing that I want to share with you today is all about starting to get more familiar again with your hunger and fullness signals. For a lot of women who are overeating or struggling with binge eating or are overweight, they are out of touch with their body's signals, you know. So for example, a woman might just be constantly eating throughout the day, therefore they never feel hunger because it's just a constant eating. Other women might, for example, when they're eating a meal, go eat completely past their fullness signals, so they really eat until they feel uncomfortably full. So when you're not listening to your body, it's a very easy way, first of all, to gain weight, but to also, you're not going to feel very in control with food because you're going against what your body actually needs. So it's so powerful. And it's actually, I was going to say it's an easy thing to do. It is easy when you get into the rhythm of it, but for some people it can be a little bit difficult at the beginning because you really have to start listening to your body again. But it's so powerful, honestly. If you can start, you know, feeling hunger is okay. A lot of people think, oh, I feel hunger, like I should never feel hunger. It's actually okay to feel hunger, and it's a good thing, you know, to allow yourself to feel that. Just the important thing is that when you do feel hunger, that you act within, say, 15 to 20 minutes. So you don't, like what some women will do is when they feel hunger, they'll completely ignore it and they'll go on about their business. They'll keep working for maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. So then that point is when they actually do sit down to eat something, they're going to overeat and they're probably going to struggle to make a healthy choice because they've ignored the hunger signals throughout the day. So when you do feel them, you want to honor your body by actually responding and listening to it by actually eating, and this will really help you control your appetite. So you're less likely going to overconsume because you're eating at that point when you actually need food, rather than allowing yourself to surpass that feeling of hunger. And then we get all sorts of hangriness, and you get like crazy cravings and everything like that as well. So start to pay attention to the hunger, and also the same thing as well, pay attention to your fullness signals. I always say to women, because they find it more difficult to identify fullness compared to hunger, but you first of all must realize that in order for you to feel a fullness signal, there should have been a hunger signal to begin with. So that means that if you're just eating for the sake of eating, when you're not hungry, you're never going to get a fullness signal because you actually weren't hungry to begin with. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So in order to get a fullness signal, you should have been hungry to begin with. So that just means that you want to actually eat slow and pay attention to eating itself. So don't be like trying to eat something and, I don't know, doing something else. This like eating on autopilot, because then it's just so easy to overconsume and not really pay attention. You want to actually give eating your attention as much as you can. You may not be able to do it for all meals, that's okay. So just checking in and see, like, am I full? How am I feeling? Do I need to eat more? And you're not going for that feeling of being uncomfortably stuffed. You're actually going for the feeling where you're satisfied. And that's actually a really nice place to stop. Okay, so that's the first thing that I wanted to share with you. My second tip is getting out of autopilot and getting into awareness. So many women are on autopilot for a very large part of their day, so many activities or things they're doing and they're not paying attention to it. It's just because we're so busy these days, with work, with the kids, and looking after like 1,000,001 things. So it's very easy for food to not be a priority, or to not give it any attention. And when you don't give it any attention, then you're going to probably not have very good eating habits, and you might just kind of be grabbing things on the go, eating as you go along. You're not going to be very organized or very prepared because you're not actually giving it attention. So you want to just actually start giving food attention. You know, look at it like this. The food that you put into your body is really going to have a massive impact on how you feel. It's the energy. And you want to start looking at this like this is something that you really should start to pay attention to. Just from a health perspective, you should want to take care of your body and put the best into it so that you feel your best. So, you know, think about that. Start giving food and your eating habits a little bit of awareness, and start being a little bit more organized and giving it attention, okay? Because it is important. When you start giving it attention and working on it, you're going to see changes, and you will improve your eating habits over time. But if you're just constantly not even like giving it any attention and being on autopilot all the time when you're eating, you're not going to have much success, okay? So get out of autopilot and start giving eating itself some attention, okay? And my third tip is for anyone who is struggling with feeling control around food. If it's an emotional thing, you know, when you're feeling anxious or stressed or sad or lonely, whatever that may be, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is be present in that moment. And what I mean by that is, when you're in that situation, you're probably so used to just feeling the feeling but then ignoring it and reaching for food, for that numbness. You don't want to really pay attention to what happened today. You don't want to dive deep into it. You want to forget about it. You just want to eat the food. So it's that little bit of comfort for you, okay? But you know, that comfort is only ever going to be short-lived, because generally after that you don't really feel good, because that's not actually what your body needed in the first place. So what I would say to you is, if you are someone who is an emotional eater and you're reaching for food all the time when you're not feeling so good, then I would say become present and ask yourself, before you start reaching for food, ask yourself, what does my body need? This very simple question is actually really, really powerful, and I tell my clients to do this all the time, and I do this myself still to this day. It's just to become more connected with your body, because you have to realize, if you're not feeling, or if you're feeling emotional or stressed, food is never going to be the answer. You probably need something else, and it's important for you to start finding out what those other things may be instead of using food as the crutch. And it could be different things. You know, it could be you know, it could just be going to bed and having having an early night. It was a long day, and like, instead of sitting on the sofa and watching Netflix and eating a lot of food, actually just going and getting a better sleep would be more beneficial for your body. The other thing would be maybe you know, having a chat with your manager in work. Maybe it's something to do with your job. Maybe something's not going right, and maybe you just need to get it off your chest and say what's going on, rather than just kind of sweeping it under the carpet and, you know, hoping that it'll kind of go away. So when you're in that moment, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling emotional, and you normally kind of go for food, I really want you to actually stop yourself in that moment and say, what does my body need? And start to get a little bit more curious about what your body needs. Because if you're serious about breaking this habit, then this is what you actually need to do. Okay? So I hope these 3 tips were very helpful for you today. Mindfulness is really my biggest passion. I really believe that if we can create more mindfulness in this world, it will help so many people, not just from a weight loss perspective, but also emotionally, how we're feeling, our mental health, and everything as well. So ladies, let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, just drop them underneath and I'll get back to you. So see you soon in another video. Take care.